Okay, now let's cut up the pieces and make a website. First thing we probably want to do is go to our Finder and create a new directory for our project. Let's create one called, let's call it, well, we'll just call it Specs Howard. That will be our root folder. Specs Howard, there it is. Nothing in it right now. Let's create a new folder in there for our images. And we'll save them in there. So our root folder is going to be Specs Howard. Here we go. First thing we want to do, we can get rid of this. Okay, here's our layers. Let's go to the very top layer, create a new layer above that one, and hold our Command, Option, Shift, E. And what we see here is that it created a layer that incorporates all the other layers without destroying them. Okay, with that layer highlighted, let's get our grid back and let's grab our header section. Okay, I put the marching ants around the two grids, the two squares here. Remember, 160 because there's two squares. I'm going to do a Command C, a Command N, a return, and a Command V. And that gives me my header. Notice that it is exactly as we sketched it out. 960 by 160, cutting exactly on the grid. Now, if your marching ants are not snapping to this grid system, you should go up and go to View, Snap to Grid. That way you'll get some very good cuts. Okay, so I got this one. I'm going to File, Save for the Web. Always save for the web if you're going to be doing web stuff. Let's make sure we have it on, Let's make sure we have it on JPEG or whatever format you want. I prefer JPEGs. I'm going to hit save. Well, I'm going to increase the quality. The header should probably always be the best quality. Save it. I'm going to go to my desktop, my Specs Howard, my images, and I'm going to save it as header. Header JPEG. Okay. Now, since I saved that, I can close it without saving it. Now I'm going to grab all the way across with my marching ants, from one end to the other. This is going to be the background. Notice I'm not grabbing it from up here, and I'm not grabbing it from down there. If I were to grab it from here, the chances are that I would get some of this green, the dark green, and if I did it up here, I'd probably get some dark green as well. Now this is going to tile down, and if there's a green stripe, no matter how small it is, it's going to tile down, so you'll have a green stripe every 80 pixels, so we want to avoid that. So let's go ahead and cut this, copy. So that's Command C. Command N will give us a new document. You can see right away that it's a perfect cut, 960 by 80. I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going to I'm going to click Command V, which will give us our background. Notice that this green is 2 squares over, and this one is 3 over, and this is the 7. Okay, I'm going to save this for the web. JPEG, good, save. I'm going to call this BG for background. Now since that's saved for the web, I can close that. I'm not going to save it. And the last piece that I need is the footer. Putting the marching ants around the footer. Notice how the marching ants snap where they need to snap, exactly on the grid. When I copy it with Command C, Command N opens up a new document. As you can see, it's 960 by 80, exactly the way we want it. Let's save it. Command V, paste our footer graphic in, File, Save for the web. Beautiful. Save. Let's call it footer. Okay, so as you can see, we have our header, our BG, and our footer. Very good.